Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Blood and Sand. Sorry it's been a while. There's been tribulations because people have lives they live on weekends. Wouldn't you believe it? Even this bunch of nerds. So, where we last left off, our party of heroes was plotting the demise of one of the leaders of a particular house within the city of Rothaven. Rothaven does not have any true mayor or monarchy or of any sort, and instead is ruled by a conglomeration of houses, each one providing a certain business and controlling it through in. One of which controls banks, one of which controls the most important things in life, like gunpowder, like slaves, beasts, and so on. Through traveling around to multiple points, the party has interacted with and discerned the weaknesses potentially of one Ranford Ramsey, the dog of Rothaven, and they have been seeking him as their first potential victim. So, with that in mind, you've just stepped out of the Hawk's alchemy shop after being prescribed many tools of downfall for Ramsey and other useful means for your own ends. What would you all like to do?
Right, we have one more person that we need to visit.
Luckily, what do you want to do?
Visit the blacksmith.
Is there a blacksmith house?
Where's the block? I want to go and.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, we need
I
to.
think we should head and see this the other leader and make our way there and start talking to
We
her.
need to go see Truesdale. She's the last person we need to see, and then once we've spoken to her, I think we should head back to Lambda, and then make our way out of town for the next stage.
Sounds good. I'm gonna.
Towards the mission
yeah.
of the munitions.
Mm-hmm.
So I would know that she was. You said there was one person like here. 1 second. Where's the pointer? Oh god.
As Trips desperately tries to learn how to use Roll20.
Yeah, we've been.
I've no idea.
We've been there. I think
This is the bank.
That's where we started. That's where our sort of base is,
That's where Lander is.
and we don't appear to have any other marks on the map currently.
So okay. I've got it now. So we worked away from the bank up here, and then up to the crossroads here, and then we went this way. Yes.
I'm doing that unintentionally on the GM there. Just a moment.
So we went like this way here. This is where
That
the
is the Hawk
woman
location.
Okay.
Yeah. Was the other one up this way? remember
That
correctly.
sounds familiar.
One of them, I will just mark them here on the map. This is the location of the. Excuse me. Just get the name right. Where the fuck did I lose that name? The Burtons. Burtons primarily come out of that way there on the bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe I put down.
Yeah, because I know I led these guys up from the bank, and then sort of hit this part of central square here, and then we went like this way, where we could have gone this way or up this way.
And just beneath it there, between the bank and Whitehawk, is indeed your location for Speechless.
Cool.
With Ramsey controlling the northern east side of town. So, will you all begin making your way towards that? I will say this as well, Calfe, you will definitely know the way to her, as you have often worked with her.
Yeah.
Or done dealings with her at the very least.
Yeah. Okay. So I sort of guide them and try and get them closer. Is he quite a few people still out and about? It was mid-afternoon, right?
Mid-afternoon, and it's still quite busy in the thoroughfare of the day. It's calmed down now, certainly, but it's still a port city. Once one side of the business tends to calm down, the other side tends to liven up for the evenings.
So would we have enough time to get there before their establishment closed? Do they own an establishment? Is that where they work out of?
It is establishment.
So I'm gonna head and show them the way.
Okay, you send them to Wither's Munitions, which is a very large, more like a warehouse with a shop front, where beneath it, behind it, there is all the different refining of powders, development, and it's all kept in very large separate areas. You know this personally because this is where you often worked to get your munitions, and worked from there. You also know that Truesdale rarely speaks, and instead often has a individual speak for her, one of her many lackeys, shall we say, who she'll often position to the front, and if they don't know what to say or handle a matter, then she's brought. But even then, she's very rarely talks, hence the name.
Yeah. So I'm going to head up and sort of head towards the shop front and just take a moment while we're walking and go, look, we're heading to her, and she's not the talkative bunch, but you deal with this with the front like person on the counter, and it's a strange way, like you can directly address her, but don't expect to receive that much of acknowledgement or a general chat. So
I think in this regard, I would much rather speak to her directly. I feel like the less people know about what we're trying to do, the simpler it is. Though,
I mean, this is.
I have hopefully at least. I mean, it worked at the last place. I have a little way to hopefully at least get her attention, because it certainly worked at the last place we went to.
Now I can take the lead on this if you want, and sort of we'll go and get in. But once we're in there, I'll leave it up to you if you want. I mean, it's up to you.
Since you seem to have dealt with this person personally, your advice would be appreciated, because I feel like, I don't know, I have a bad feeling about this one. I feel like it may not go as smoothly as the last few. Let's just say my primary bargaining chip, I feel, is not going to be as effective here. So
right, because you guys don't really get the gun debate, or
not me personally, but where we come from, they are not considered. No, we don't. No. So the offer of trade is something that I can not promise, and frankly probably would not be something that Skaven would be interested in. So other things have to be offered, I think. But
now, what if we say that we can get it? You guys, I mean, I've worked with Lander enough, and you have a connection, shall we say? You know people in the dark belly underdepths of your city.
We'll call it that.
Yeah, I don't want to put labels on it, but I know
people.
You know people. Do you reckon any of the less favourable people would want a supply line to maybe a few? I mean, it could open trade if they are slowly trickled into the wider world, shall we say.
We'll deal with the legal prohibitions later. Set up the trade route first, and then we can fix anything else after.
I mean, the trade route itself would be profitable for her anyway. I mean, ships have giant guns. Guns need gunpowder.
I mean, that's a fair point. How is the fleet in your city?
We have a reasonable fleet. We have quite a sizable port.
Do you guys have cannons? Do they need gunpowder?
Do
they need guns?
They have other means of defense.
Right. But for rudimentary sake, maybe for defense of, I mean, we don't have to think about, just the underbelly? What about the mayor? Would they want maybe some? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I mean,
Duskhaven's
guys-
a traditional place. They don't really work with modern technology.
There are various reasons. I won't go into details, but basically the entirety of Duskhaven is very much a no-go for this sort of technology, and
right.
and it's very much, unfortunately, quite well due to the mayor. It is him who has enforced this, which is why I feel it, and it's quite common knowledge as well. Indeed, the last couple of people we spoke to even mentioned it themselves. It's quite well known that he has this stance on firearms, and so I feel like that way lies trouble. I feel like possibly even if we even mention that's where we're from, she may just shut down our conversation.
That makes sense.
Because
I reckon.
there's no way that we can offer in or anything.
I reckon we should go with our first plan maybe, and then we'll see what she thinks about maybe like a small trickle trade route with the underbelly that we can maybe sort out, and
That is a possibility.
we'll see how it goes.
Another
If I may.
possibility.
I say we say we're from New Grove.
I was about to say that. That was weird. Yes, there is a small settlement that is being set up, which is close, but they are not technically under the.
So they would want some heavy defenses.
They potentially are not under this strict anti-firearm law yet. Who can say? They already have very close ties to Duskhaven, but as far as I'm aware, they don't have as strict laws, so there's a possibility. And then, of course, we mention our other plans that we intend to initiate in the next couple of days to increase employment and increased employment, more people to sell to, that sort of thing.
I think it could be a very profitable stepping stone.
So that's the information we have, and that's where we stand.
Let me see what I can do. So I'm gonna sort of head in and then take a step into the shop, and is anyone there that I've dealt with before in there?
Yes, this is one of the people. Sorry, Alistair, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say I'm going to take a vantage point.
Okay, you're going to
scope out for back doors.
Okay. You sneak around like the side between two buildings, between it and the next building over, which is like a small bread shop.
I'm going to pass my bag of holding over to Buckley. Just because I'm going off on my own, just in case something bad happened.
I mean, you've been told about going off on your own.
You just
I just like stop and with my hand on the door and all that. Are you guys coming or what? Who's coming in?
Alistair, do you need some backup?
Alistair moves around the corner.
Potentially. I don't know.
I'll be with you then.
Yes, nobody goes alone. We know this by now.
That and fire guy in the giant ball of gunpowder is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, you can
That's a
sneeze
fair
and
point.
the whole fucking warehouse goes.
You two stay together, whatever it is you're doing, but don't go far, obviously. Don't want to lose you this close.
Henry?
Buckley,
Miss Delmara, are you coming with me?
What did you
Yes.
hand me?
Your bag of holding. The bag of holding I've
the
got.
party's bag of
okay.
holding. Yes, I'm coming.
Okay, you two step in.
Mhm.
Who's behind the actual counter is this large creature. Not person, but that's by vantage point of different people. It's a creature made entirely of metal. A humanoid stance. This is something that is very rarely seen this far south, but has begun to trickle down, and you are aware of this one in particular, Calfrey. This is a Warforged.
Iron Golem.
They are a humanoid-sized golem, except they have sentience.
Right. Do I know the name of this
This one
Warforged?
is named Murt. M-U-R-T.
Well, howdy, Mutt. It's been a while, I know. Is the good lady in? I might have a real good sense of a great deal for her.
The lady of the house is not in. Please leave and lock the door.
Oh boy.
I just wanted to clarify that Grant.
You had enough of your shit already. It's hot.
Error.
Nemo.
I imagine Grant is just playing bodyguard for Dell.
Mm-hmm. I presume Buckley, Dell, Calfrey, and Grant are all in there, and everyone else is outside.
Yes.
So, you four step in. This large individual behind the counter goes, "I'll get her." He just turns, steps around the counter, steps around into like a back area. Maybe after 5 minutes, you can hear him going up somewhere, up a set of stairs, like steel steps that you can very steel on steel, king, 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 and another one of the
King Kong.
No, that's if we were in Ramsey's place.
For the idea that these robots have the voice of Claptrap.
Oh god.
Probably
Hello,
one
traveler.
There's probably one that does, but not this one.
See ya next time.
Beautiful.
High five! Get away!
Hello, travelers.
This is gonna affect my depression. Okay. Stop.
Look me, I'm dancing. I'm dancing. He's a bard. He's a bard. Bard Warforged.
That's a Warforged bard. It's Claptrap. That's why he can do anything in the fucking pre-DLC.
Moving on.
Desmond, I need to talk to you later about something.
No, you made a choice.
I just go to Dell. I turn to her and go, "I like Mert. He's a real nice guy."
I just sort of blink because I've never seen a Warforged before.
Mm-hmm. You've literally seen a golem that can actually talk and walk properly with enough intelligence of his own mind, rather than having to constantly be given orders. It steps back down.
Look cool.
Steps back down. This time it's carrying a very large shotgun. Aims it over the counter, and then stepping down is Truesdale, the Speechless Withers. This 6.5 foot tall, full orc female. She's missing her entire left arm, but it has been replaced by what can only be described as an entirely pneumatic metal arm. Everything works and shifts like a normal arm, but underneath the wrist you can see that there is indeed a opening, like a valve or the barrel of a gun almost. She steps down, leans over the table, and motions for you to begin.
Yeah, I head up and I just go, nah, come on, Truesdale. There's no need for this with the guns. I come bearing gifts, and I come bearing great news.
Make a persuasion check.
Y'all listen here. Mama gonna take care of you.
This is...
I might even call you Pudding.
Oh dear.
in this moment of
Trips
many
get shot.
political activities in the day, you forget that you do not talk to Truesdale like that. And you can just see from the very base of the hole, there's just a flame just... And it's just aimed at you now, like the wrist is just pointed over while she's looking towards the rest.
I just go, I know I'm sorry. I know we don't do business like this, but I've okay, let me be honest.
I think she wants you
might
to shut
need
the
a-
fuck up.
Oh, I
Do you not hear the?
That's not the gas coming out of the fucking hole, the barrel, lad. That's how.
Oh, I thought it was. I was like,
No.
why are you holding up your arm? Oh, okay.
And she looks to the other group of you that are there.
Well, Dell.
I've come to make a proposition. And I flick out the coin that I was given, the second one.
She pats her real arm on the table, and something that you didn't notice, but there are the entire place is like this large steel box almost. It's like the exterior. It's how the actual like there's stone on the outside, but inside it's all steel. And you're noticing from the back wall, you just see a bunch of holes begin to appear as gun barrels are now being removed from their debt. Basically, this entire place was a kill field, and she just disarmed it.
I'm sorry, and I might have approached that situation a bit different.
By the way, as much as she's done that, this is her entire left arm. By the way, is the mechanical one. It's still aimed at you, Calfrey.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought
Meanwhile,
we had history.
Meanwhile, while we're getting shushed constantly, Grant's
about
just
to
sort of
become
playing one eye at a time. Just,
And reaches and has a hand out for the coin.
Well, look at it once and then place it in the hand.
She takes it, bites. It doesn't bend. Only bends a little bit in her jaw. Pockets it. So we talk then.
Yes. We intend to instigate a bit of civil unrest.
Trips, if there was a time for you to use your luck, that was it.
For fuck's sake!
Smash!
Well, on the plus
I don't
side,
have
you
luck.
got your luck for
Post-it
the year.
notes, man! Stick them
I
on your
don't-
monitor!
I don't have luck.
Do you not have the lucky feet?
No.
God.
Because I thought I'd be skilled enough. And then I
I mean, you have a plus 12, you just rolled
That's
a
a
1.
plus 12!
You just rolled a 1.
fucking...
That's just how D&D be.
That's how D&D do.
Or do and don't. Anyway.
So, yeah.
Never rely solely on skill.
Says the guy who's clearly never played a rogue.
Continuing, Damara.
So, as I said, we're looking to cause a little bit of civil unrest. And we would like your assistance on this matter. We already have the backing of our wealthy friend, as illustrated by that coin. And we also have the hawk on our side, willing to lend us a hand.
Proof of hawk.
Double check my inventory.
What did you say, sorry?
Let me double check my inventory.
No, what did that say?
Proof of the hawk.
Oh, proof of the hawk.
She pulls out a falconer's glove. It was a cryptic symbol.
I pull out the vial of silver liquid.
She just winks.
Put it away.
How?
There's a lot of slaves in this town. A lot of people being held against their will. We aim to change that. It's gonna cause a bit of a riot. And, well, lots of things can happen in riots. Guns go off, people get shot, accidents happen, people get killed.
Ooh.
Burton's.
She begins just rubbing her knuckles against her cheek in the fake cry way. Else.
We intend to deal with the dog beforehand. Hopefully, that won't be an issue. Stanton and his sons.
She is just rubbing up and down her arm currently. Up and down the metal arm.
Right.
clenches on the shoulder. Make a persuasion check. This is a straight check. Would
Straight
have been
roll.
a disadvantage had you not mentioned the suns. Would have been a disadvantage because someone fucked up on a nat 1.
Aw. Hopefully I don't do the same.
Kind of
First
spattled
roll
in
of
her
the
face.
night.
You did it as well, lad. Second roll of the night.
It's not great.
It hurts, doesn't it, Trips? It hurts.
You already tried and you messed it up.
I got more by messing up.
I was relying on you.
I thought it was a great opening, I'm not going to lie. I thought we'd start off with something light-hearted and then go straight into seriousness. And it was a mere roll. I thought that. Never mind.
D&D.
That's how I'm going to quiet Calfrey in the future.
That's-
Fucking shush
That's
now.
how D&D be.
That's how D&D do.
That's how D&D be. Right.
Nothing to offer. Won't get in the way.
That's fair. What if we were to offer the prospect of future business?
Listening.
With the Burtons out of the way and the dog dealt with, the possibility of certain trade routes which were previously sealed are going to open up. And there's going to be a lot of people who are now free to do as they want, free to find jobs and earn money that they can then spend on certain items. And people always have to defend themselves. In fact, there's a recent settlement that has been growing very much lately, growing population, growing in armaments, and they certainly will wish to arm themselves with
Name.
New Grove. May not have heard of it, it's very recent.
Heard of it.
Fair enough. It's under new management, shall we say.
Old management did good business. Promising better.
But of course.
Make another persuasion check.
Oh, for the love of God, do better.
This time, because she is a businesswoman and you are offering a lot, I am going to first make an insight check.
Great.
Imagine.
She is listening intently. Make your check with advantage.
I have a puppy.
That is a
Puppy.
good thing.
Pippi, send me your energy.
Arr.
Puppy,
Oh,
don't
that's
curse
better.
his dice.
That's on the higher end.
Okay, Doc, you're no longer needed to get out.
Go!
This dog is empty. Yeet.
away!
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna throw my puppy. God.
Aw.
Yeet. Don't throw the puppy.
Hey.
I used to have a puppy throwing at me. It was great. I wouldn't get out of bed till like 1 o'clock, and my dog just brought the dog up, and the dog just slept atop me then.
Aw.
She's listening intently.
Go lay down.
Etc.
Yeah.
And at this point, you hear a set of feet stepping down the stairs. Only you hear it, Delmara. And this figure in a white suit steps forward. Humanoid, save for a massive porcelain mask they have on. One side is the smile, the other side is the frown of the theatrical kind of symbol. The eyes are open and you can see these two yellow eyes looking back out towards you. I would be quite interested in the assistance of this effort. Consider my enthusiasm for a fine performance. Insured. And he steps out of view. I'll be watching. I'll be waiting.
Very well. I'm just gonna look at her.
That is the most I can afford to give at one time.
Your assistance
he-
is greatly appreciated.
He will have the appropriate munitions.
Do I need do I recognise this
Oh,
person?
make a history check, you actually.
Ooh.
Me.
Terps.
Oh god. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, fucking threat.
I say with advantage to just roll another time flat. Because you are from this place. Well, it is higher.
Bye, Trips.
Trips, get them out in the social encounter. Get them out in the social encounter.
I'm real bad. I'm just
You're aware of a porcelain masked killer being one of the top hitmen in the city. You've never
Whoa.
met this person. You've never encountered this person. But you're aware that their guns don't bang. It's like a choir.
oh shit.
If you hear singing in the dark duck,
Dang.
you know this is as a thing. So of course,
So it's in this. Would this shake me a little bit? Like, okay.
you knew Ramsey was a dangerous individual. You knew a lot of people would be enthusiastic for his death. Contracts of this degree go into the 5-digit standard. So the fact that a favor could be called in of that degree somewhat wants him dead. But it's not that gives you a little bit of a shaken nervousness to you. It's more the fact of, why was he waiting there?
They've been following us.
He comes from the steps where she came down from, so he was here before you arrived.
Right. Okay.
And had this turned violent, he would have definitely stepped in.
I'm gonna sort of recognize this. I'm just kind of just lean over to Dell and just go, "We need to talk in a bit when we get out of here." And then I just lean back and just go,
As well, from the actual barrel in Withers' arm, she just lowers it down, and you just hear the rolling sound, and 6 silver bullets, pellets almost like, but the bullet for a flintlock more or less, fall out of it. And she points at you.
"Me."
Calfrey.
I just nod and I go, "Oh, thank you," and I'll take them off the counter and store them in my bag.
Mm-hmm. Martin, you have 6 silver bullets.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
I'm going to shoot a werewolf!
I think
This
to
is
myself
Black
outside,
Heart!
maybe you should give those bullets to someone who'll be able to roll higher than a 10.
Oh.
Spook, if you look at the chat window, I
Feels
rolled
bad.
higher than a 10 when rolling a 1. So
No.
get fucked.
Feels bad, man.
Your roll was not higher than a 10.
Your modifier was.
With the modifier, the total roll was actually higher than a
Ironically,
10.
Daz, I think he's pretty.
Actually, I'm actually triggered.
Trips, this is the shit I deal with.
Kill me now.
Take it. Don't worry.
We're
Get
the
some
asshole
combat counter.
party.
Yeah, these are the asshole party. You chose poorly.
I chose very poorly.
Alistair Darkwood, bastard extraordinaire.
There's a reason he has that name. And Delmara is not a... In every campaign, she has some sort of characterization. But in 2 campaigns, you could call her a bitch.
One is figurative, one is very descriptive.
Awoo!
You're a
Ow.
bitch.
Damn it, dog.
Just for points of interest, the silver bullets are for my pistol, and could they be loaded into my rifle?
Pistol.
Just pistol. Ah, okay.
They're a smaller bullet. The rifle does take a larger round.
Ah, okay.
Could I
And
load them
most,
into my
most of the times, you make one
You've
that's
got
like,
silver
can-
arrows.
I know, but could I?
No.
Is ammunition not transferable? What is
You
this
could-
bullshit?
Open up his mouth and throw them in if you want to. By all means, put your hands in a werewolf's mouth.
Happy
That she
days.
motions you
Back
all
in the zone.
to get the fuck out of her shop.
Before we leave, Grunt's just going to sort of furrow a brow a bit and then just sign language to her says, "You talked more than I was expecting. I'm disappointed." And then she walks away.
As she leaves, and Mert is still there with the large rifle. Thank you for coming. We hope your journey to Withers Munitions has been satisfactory. Now, in the words of our most esteemed matron, get the fuck out.
Just give it a
See you
Nice.
next time.
Just leave and I go, nice seeing you again, Mert.
I just
It's
give
good
the
to see you too, Calfred.
slight incline of the head with respect, and then leave.
Oh man.
When we both leave, we both wait for the door to shut, and we both just go.
You have the anime deep sigh where your head goes down to your fucking torso.
I go, you do realize we just got out of one of the most dangerous situations I think we ever would have put ourselves in. We need to move now.
I've been in some pretty dangerous
I'm
situations.
I'm gonna like motion and we need to get walking now. So I'm gonna try and get them to walk, start
Okay.
walking down the street back.
Alistair, Shimmer?
Are we there yet still?
Are we there yet still?
Flick back a couple of pages and read on the other side.
Going to look around the corner and probably be very upset when I see there's nobody there.
Do they do this often, or is this just right? I go, Del. I need to tell you something, and we need to get walking.
We can't just go without them.
Well, we need to. I'd sort of.
Okay, well, we'll
sort
go
of
in
just
that
like
way. That's the
motion
way they
and
went.
just like, just down into the alleyway, and I'd just go. You do realize who that lovely white-suited person in there was?
You do realise we're not from this town.
Oh my God, we have been lucky to get out of there with our lives.
That's a daily
That's-
basis for us.
I consider myself to be quite a good shot. That's the best shot of this town. That is the most dangerous person that you do not want to mess with. That is a contract killer that you don't even hear the gunshot.
Ah, a man of taste.
Time you moved on.
We're talking and walking.
Calfrey,
Yeah.
you're aware they do not use a pistol. That individual does, in fact, use a rifle.
That is the most deadliest sniper that I have never wanted to meet.
Good to know they're on our side.
She, they, them, they.
Sometimes it's referred to as he. Most of the times referred to as they. Ambiguity's a bitch.
They are by far the most expensive, most proficient killer in this city. You do not see nor hear. You barely hear the bullet as it hits you. We need to be careful, and we're damn well. It's damn well good that they're on our side.
Well then.
Oi.
I suppose that is a good thing. Well, we knew we were dealing with important people, so that just brings the severity of the situation to light. Now, I would like to get back to Lander, if we could find where that bloody bastard has gone. Oh
I want to play D&D.
The puppet!
Let me roll a cleric for these idiots.
I don't know, marches.
Oh.
no! Let me play a cleric, I can be a good boy.
The best boy.
I will heal.
Already a good boy.
Best
You can
girl,
only be the best
actually.
boy.
I will heal with
Okay.
puppy kisses.
The
Doesn't
best
matter.
girl.
It's
The
still a
best
boy. Still the best boy.
The best
They're all
pupper.
good boys.
Still
The
best
closest
doggo.
thing I can describe the mask to look like if those
Yeah.
two sides were side to side.
I gathered.
Good.
Wait, what's that again? The mask
I
was
put
like.
it into Blood and Sand. That's essentially it. If both sides were just like, an even mask, it wasn't an uneven as it is there.
Oh boy.
We happy for you?
So, Alistair Dartwood, Shimmer, where on earth are you two going?
Hello.
I don't know. Where are we going?
A circle round back the way we came into the alley first, and I hand Shimmer my bow, and I say to him, "You check around that corner, and I'll check around this corner, and obviously, don't follow me." And I just walk straight away.
You really think I'm gonna let you out of my sight?
Nope.
At least he's honest.
I was born at night. It wasn't last night.
And I go around the corner and I head back to the warehouse that we
You go to the warehouse.
I do.
I follow him.
You go to the granary deposit, I imagine.
The one
Okay.
with the sick.
I'll say, do you intend to be stealthy in your departure from the party? I mean, will it be easy for them to follow?
I mean, unless they know how to track me in the city. I
Some
would
of us have
imagine.
spent a lot of time in cities.
I'd say yes, actually, because I need to at least be under the guise that I am going stealthy. So yes, I would.
Okay, make a stealth check then. Shimmer, do the same.
That's my stomach, dog.
I just realized I didn't have my character sheet open.
You're playing
wait, I have to
D&D,
do
Cole.
What? Now what are we doing?
I swear to
Cord
God,
just
this pyrokinetic is stealthy. I'm gonna be so
Cord just
pissed.
has a macro mapped out that's just fire, and he just presses it when it's combat time. Just like, is it
I bet
digest?
It starts at the high spell slots and works its way down.
1 to 9.
I do have a macro for my fireball. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So,
Amazing.
you two make your way to the warehouse. You knock on the door. The door opens after a moment. For the sake of brevity, do I keep you two here, or will I take you both to DM Whispers? Because if I take you both to DM Whispers, it's the most appropriate thing.
This could be a while though.
You're the
Could be
bloody
a
DM. You do what you want.
It's up to you.
I'll say, Damara, make a survival check with Calfrey's aid, because this is his city. You can make it with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Who's got the best survival skill?
I mean, not me, probably.
I've got a
I got
plus
4.
5.
You're better than me, so I can
I'll say you
try and
get
assist
advantage from her assisting you, because she knows the calling cars and the way that those two walk and their footprints above others. So
There's
say with
excessive
advantage.
traces of bullshit here. You must have gone this way.
No, something got burnt over here. So you're not able to follow Alistair, but you do manage to follow things from Shimmer. And we'll
Yeah.
say our role play there took about 20 minutes. It'll take you maybe about 30 minutes to actually get there. So I'm going to keep these two here, and within 30 minutes, you guys will be able to find your way towards the warehouse.
Okay.
It's at that point, from there on, you can interact with the scene. But for now, I'm going to move them.
I want to just set up something interesting to try for the sake of the stream. Do we want it so that maybe I'm in the channel as well, but I take my headset off? That way, people who are watching can hear the conversation,
Sure.
and then people can wave at me on camera, or possibly text me.
Yes, the boyfriend can do the texting. Yes, certainly. You can certainly do that.
Okay. So I will.
I
Take,
do
I
have
will
an
take my headset off.
individual. I do have an individual map for this. Excuse me. So I'll move you to it.
Okay.
But I'm going
Topic
to,
game to everybody.
I'm going to take all of you to DM Whispers then.
Stop at GMT.
See you in a minute, guys.
Hello, darling.
Right. See ya.
So yeah.
You open up the door. this simple, old, run-down granary. You find yourselves coming in from the bottom left of the map. For the sake of ease, I couldn't find one more fitting, so this is the warehouse. You step in from this position, which takes you from the actual city. You move forward and we'll make believe there's a door here. So you can step through. Shimmer, put yourself on the map as well. Shimmer?
1 second.
He's figuring it out. Drag your character from your.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was trying to drag her from the side window.
Okay. Have you told Shimmer anything?
Such as.
What you're doing?
No. Everything that I told him in the alley was everything I told him.
Mm-hmm. Shimmer, you are trusting Alistair, and he leads you into this warehouse.
I'm not
with
leading him. I'm pretending that I'm pretending I'm not with him. I said to him, "Don't follow me," and I just headed off, knowing that he would follow me.
Shimmer, you are essentially right next to him this whole time. As you step in, what do you do? As you step into this one empty space, you see the supplies that have been built up, granaries, refinement, the idea of the easy transfer of food. From here, what do you do?
Take a quick.
The door beyond you to the north is open.
Okay, I take a quick check around to see, definitely what's inside them. Obviously, make sure I'm not walking into a trapped room full of gunpowder or something, or.
Mm-hmm. Make a
Do a
quick
quick
investigation check then. In this nervousness of your moment, not that focused on it. Do you move
Great.
to the next room?
Yeah, I'm gonna step to here.
Mm-hmm. We'll move you here. Shimmer, if you want to stay back and try to stealth, you can certainly do so. For now, I'm just keeping you next to him for the sake of ease.
I was about to ask if I could do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you can make another stealth check in here then. This is a straight roll. So we'll take the 6. There's
Trips
nothing
gave us
else
his
in this
dice.
room except for a large number of barrels and goods. And the door to the right is open. Shimmer, you wait out into this room here, knowing that you probably able to hear anything that goes on to the next room, and you wait. Alistair, do you step in?
Yeah, I'll step into the room. And are those windows up in the sides?
These are 2 windows, yes. They
From-
open out onto the street.
I'm gonna go over to this one and just have a check out, see what's on the other side, just in case things go south.
That side is just out to the actual dock side. The side above you takes you into an alley.
Okay.
This appears to be another door that would lead you out into the main thoroughfare.
Outside into the street.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go over and I'm
This
just
door
going to
is
check
open.
the handle just to see, is it locked?
It is not locked from the
Okay.
inside.
I will leave it shut still, and then I shall
Okay.
head up to this door.
Shimmer.
At that point,
Did
I'd
you-
follow him up.
Okay, you'd move into this room then. The stealth check still applies. Are you going to follow him in, or you just let him walk in?
I'll follow him in.
Okay. So you step in, and Shimmer then, after a moment, follows behind you. But it's not our golden compatriot. It's the Shimmer that you've seen through your visions. As you step through, Deldir goes silent, and the coloration changes, Shimmer.
I don't have my bow.
Oh, you don't, but he does.
Yeah, he
And
has it.
Even without holding it, you're still attuned to it, and you can still telepathically
Yeah.
hear. That's been cut off. And Shimmer, once you step in, your amulet, the magic of it no longer works, and you are your Black Dragonborn self.
black and gold dragon.
Mhm.
I just had to point that out.
There is an old gentleman, the one that you helped earlier, the one who you traveled through the city with, through to the Dead Mountain where he was left off so long ago, and you went further on towards New Grove. This elderly gentleman sits there behind a counter, behind a table. Oh, welcome. I was told to prepare food for you, and I have done so justly. I hope it is to your standards, to your needs, and I will leave you be, as he will step in a moment.
Okay. And check him over to see if it's definitely him.
Make an insight check. It's definitely the old man. You can tell there is a nervousness to him, but more for the tension of situation than indeed the capacity of you. For the sake of this, I am not going to move the other token on the map, but another elderly gentleman steps in, as this figure steps out of that door.
Okay.
But when he steps in, the illusion fades, and you see a pale-skinned hobgoblin, ears burnt and torn over time. Robes adorn him, but there is a suit of heavy armor underneath, and a blade to his side. Without addressing you, he takes the blade, hilt and all, and leaves it on the table where the old man sat, before sitting down to the table at the top, here, and speaking to all of you, to you two. I'm surprised you did not contact everyone and bring them.
Well, you did say to come alone.
Still, I'm surprised you did not contact everyone and bring them. Shimmer, this is Guanchi.
Mm-hmm.
He motions for you to sit as he sits himself. There's a plethora of simple but wholesome food put in front of you. So, I imagine you have many questions. Where would you like me to begin?
Okay. Going from the top, because we're not now sure where we stand from everything that we've been told. We've been made to believe that you are the bad guy, but I don't feel that that's the case anymore. So, who is Crumble to you?
A nuisance. A disobedient contract. I did indeed call him. I did indeed make contact with him when he had already arrived in the city of Duskhaven to make a deal. He would prevent Marok's interference with my assault, and in turn, he would receive not only a very large-sized sum of gold, but the right to rule said city. He defied me in my one particular request. I ordered, above all else, that Marok go unharmed. He disobeyed me in this regard. I cannot, of course, tolerate a disobedient subject, especially one who sees himself superior not only to those he is ordered by, but also by those who make a deal with him. Had I not had the power to actually rival or contest him, I imagine he would have done far worse to me. So I reminded him of his position. Often days I would regret what I had done, but to someone who is as vile as that, considering especially how he treats Delmara, I do not regret what I did to him. I burned half of his face. Now he seems to have wormed his way between you and me. A way to serve as a middleman of foiling both plans, to an extent, where he allowed you to aid in the capturing of Braitha. Which, I must admit, was a clever ploy. I do regret what was lost that day, immeasurably. But this is a war. And as he says this, he's looking away from you at this final moment. His hand, almost in this fidgety way, is just there next to him as he's... War takes a lot that we'd never ask it to.
Okay, so which war is it that you're fighting then?
The war against the dragon. Only that war.
Why against the dragons?
Not dragons. Dragon.
Singular? Galgaron.
Galgaront. Creodove. The Golden Deceiver. The Traitor Child. These many names. Many devious manipulations. And if I would also clarify another reason why today, as you step in, your associate here is in his true colors, pardon the pun. Your amulet, that Damara also carries. They are a second set of eyes for him if he so chooses. I wish to ensure that this situation was not so. And he reaches into a pocket and pulls out an amulet that looks identical to yours. However, it has been marred beyond recognition. It's just, you can tell it's the same size, circumference, that there was a design of a dragon in it that has since been carved off, like it was a single piece of gold formed into a medallion with a dragon atop it, and the dragon has been carved or cut off. Same to the other side.
What is this amulet then, Shimmer? And who gave it to you?
Galgarond. When I was a young adventurer. When I was a friend to Merok and Leocro and everyone else. You're not the first party Galgarond's called to his side. If he's allowed to continue his manipulations, you won't be the last.
But what is this amulet then? We've known Shimmer since day one as a gold dragon.
Oh, you refer to the amulet, and he points towards the amulet on Shimmer. That Shimmer, you always tuck away underneath your clothes.
Yeah, I've not even seen it yet.
Shimmer?
Mm-hmm.
Do you show
Yeah, I
it?
pull it out.
So why wear it? Why hide your true self? What's the reasoning? Cards need to be on the table now. What's going on? Did Galgarond give that to you?
I don't remember who the names was, actually. He taught me my craft, as it were. And basically gave me a new identity to escape those who I fear more than many people.
I remember you said you were a military man. Is this from some old war that we don't know about?
Somewhat.
Okay. So, you know what the dragon orbs are, take,
I am fully aware of their capabilities.
and you know Crumble has given us one.
I had made presumptions, but my abilities are not as far-reaching as some like to mythicize. I can tell when, for example, if either of you were to lie. Would I be able to discern the truth? No, but I would know your lies, I would. I
So
would
you-
be able to tell should Crumblebottom, would speak, that he spoke a lie to me if he did not, if he denied the claim. Which is why when he denied the claim that he spared, indeed, Merrick Firesoul, and I was aware Merrick had to use one of his clones to survive that ordeal,
Oh.
that indeed it was the deception of Crumble to attempt to deny me. So we'll have to get her back.
You didn't miss anything.
So she's all good for now. Your friends will be coming soon, by the way. I can disable the effect to allow Shimmer his continued anonymity, if you'd like. However, I would need you to leave that amulet on the table, Dartwood. Yours. And he
Amulet?
points to the same amulet that Galgron gave you and Damara.
Oh, that amulet. Oh,
That's the amulet he's referring to, the one with the carved off dragon. But
right.
you have a dragon in your form. That's what he's referring to when Galgron gave it to you.
Right.
He's not referring to Shimmer's. Shimmer's amulet is a separate entity.
Yeah. Sorry. No. When you said Delmara's amulet, I thought you meant the health one.
No, the
Yeah.
first one you ever got.
I
Oh,
was
that
assuming he was
one.
talking about your amulet as well. I'm like, what? I'm not here. What are you talking about?
Right. Okay. God, I've got so many questions. So you said before that a dragon destroyed your lands. Was that Galgarond?
Mm-hmm.
How?
When you're a people who at the best have bow and arrow that can only shoot so high, and a dragon who can heal himself from nearly any mortal wound, you don't have a chance. You don't have a choice. 5 generations ago, when my grandfathers ruled, my ancestors ruled, he swooped in to demonstrate his might and smite what he saw as an evil race. We didn't stand a chance. Our villages were burnt, our cities were burnt, our leaders killed, my ancestors killed. I asked him of this later, once I received my eyes, my truth. He said he did it because he wanted to ensure they would not threaten all civilization. But I knew more than just the lie of this. I knew why he did it. Sport. Killed my people for sport, Alistair. He exposed us to horrors from the depths of this world that then rose up and claimed all. But could we stop this? Absolutely not. How could we? We had just survived, barely, the assault of an ancient golden dragon. There's a reason he can no longer cast healing spells upon himself, and healing magic is inert. It is a punishment. Led upon him 4 generations ago by his father. He is one of 5 firstborn. There is one of each skin, and he is the golden son. Most loyal, clerically, to his father and devout, and so he was punished for his audacity, that he could never heal himself ever again, to teach him humility, and that the only way he could heal was a slow, painful process. But when a god has to step upon the material plane to halt your arrogance, what does that truly say of you?
So why did you travel with him initially?
I never traveled with him.
But we
I
saw the
travelled-
photo. We saw the picture in
I
his
traveled
guild.
with Marok. I traveled with Leocrow. I traveled with friends. And we met as many do, in a tavern. All called together to serve a purpose. A simple task. Retrieve a lost item. Which we did. An item of unimport. But we spared a life, and showed kindness in this time. The dragon then revealed himself, not in true form, but in the black form. And he awaited us. Of course, we see an evil beast, we seek to strike it down, so we attempt to fight him, and we lose. And it is then he reveals his golden scales after reminding us that we're all weaker than him, even not in his true form of arrogance. That is something you've no doubt seen with that dragon. He loves to throw his weight around. He then offered us positions as heroes of Duskhaven, to defend it, to build anew. And we all had our own personal desires. And so we followed. We then received our amulets. And for 2 years we fought and bled, and in some cases we died. Some. We lost some along the way. The guild hall was a gift. And it was our base of operations. From there we planned all our activities and moved outward into the world. Make no mistake, Dartwood. While they would see me as an enemy at this point, Leokro, Merok, I loved them like brothers. And that is no lie. At this point, he reaches out a hand, pointing towards the amulet that you keep, Alistair. They're coming. Your friends.
Oh. I take it off and I give it to him.
Thank you. And he does have a bag of holding which he places it into. And then leaves it next to you, Alistair. The bag. Shimmer, you return to your golden form. He is now the elderly man once more. And we'll move back.
Hello?
Move back down to the normal group.
Okay.
Hello.
What the hell happened?
So currently,
Wow.
you are all making your way towards the warehouse.
Okay.
Having followed Shimmer's less than subtle trail, a golden flaked scale every now and again, or someone saying they spotted a golden dragonborn poorly sneaking through a way, you track around and you find the warehouse. And ask some kids
Now,
who were
wow.
playing nearby, and they said that they saw him enter after Alistair.
The fuck are they doing here?
No, wow. And hell would they be here at this warehouse? Let's go in.
Is there somebody here? Should we knock?
You come in from here. The door is currently open. This door is open. There is a door between this way that leads through to here, and then to here. It is a granary, and a grain store, lack of a better term.
I want to take a step in and then have a quick glance around, make sure no one's sort of looking into the doorway, and
Make a perception check.
oh shit, sorry.
No, that's fine. The 12 will do. You look around and you, keeping an eye out, you don't see anyone who's like, aside from the fact that you're all a bunch of weirdos stepping into the warehouse, and the kids, of course, that you asked, there doesn't seem to be anyone malicious watching.
Okay, I'm gonna step in, draw my gun, and then like slowly creep forward and just
Please
sort of
move
phrase
yourselves
it.
onto
And,
the map here.
I'm gonna sneak after.
okay.
This is the
My roll
entrance you
20
came
isn't
into.
working, so
I'll move you here, Grunt, for you. I'll move you on.
How do you move
Alistair?
yourselves?
Yeah, I'll move actually everyone on. Let's see. So that's Grunt, Calfrey, Buckley. We have fucking A, B, C, D here. I'm just saying.
I was going to mention that before. We need an E and an F.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm sort of be looking to sort of stay in this sort of area and push in.
At this point, Alistair. Oh, well. For a moment, let us discuss this matter in a bit of an easier light. And welcome your friends in. You can understand I'd be concerned due to Grunt's enthusiasm and that kind of matter. Just a brief moment, if you'd entertain me.
Okay. I'll play
And
off your lead.
Delmara, you do hear the voice of the elderly man again. It's definitely not being quiet.
I'm going to approach this sort of doorway.
Nobody be mad at me. I'll explain something later, but for now, the old man is going to be staying as an icon.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do come in, dear boys and girls. We have food and tea prepared, please.
I just go, Alistair, you in here?
I am. Shimmer's with me.
Sort of glance back at the party, looking confused.
Is there in
I've
fact
got-
food?
Why?
Fucking believe that.
What kind of food?
Simple lunch food. A few light meats and vegetables and a bit of fruit. A lot of fish.
Grunt is going to start putting it in her face.
Okay. You sit down to the opposite table where there actually is a space for you. So I'll move you to here.
I'm gonna we're gonna probably be in the doorway right now, probably. Worked our
Are
way
you gonna
in.
move forward? She's typing.
Actually, taking notes.
That's fair.
I go, what in tarnation?
Oh, well, welcome. I wanted to thank you for your heroism earlier with myself. Please,
I'm going to immediately go up to Delmara. And I'm going to lean in close to her. And I'm going to say, so, how did the meeting go? And as I lean in, I'm going to try and remove her medallion.
Are you going to try to do this stealthily to her, or is it one of those ways of, hello, how are you, as you're obviously reaching to take it?
My neck.
I will try and do it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you
It's
wear
around her
yours like a,
neck.
like
She
a
wears
necklace.
hers-
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she wears
wear
hers
wear it as a necklace.
And
This
it's not
is your
one with a
dragon
clasp, is
one
it?
that you got from Galgrond.
It doesn't have a clasp on it or anything, does it?
Nope. This isn't something you could sneak away from her high perceptive ass.
Have to get it
Okay,
from
I'm gonna-
around my head.
I'm
just gonna-
standing right next to him. I go, Alistair, are you okay?
I'm just going to say, I need to take this for a minute. And I just remove it from her head.
I try and grab his hand.
Okay, you reach to try and grab his hand. Athletics versus acrobatics. As the old man
Who's-
speaks up, just a moment. I have a bit of a paranoia. They'll go into that bag of holding and they'll stay there for the brief period that you're here. That's all right.
Excuse me?
What
Who's
the
doing
bloody
athletics
hell
and
is
who's doing
going on?
acrobatics?
Who's doing which?
You two.
Which
Athletics
that's-
for the contestant who's trying to take it, which is Alistair, and Delmara, acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I was like, if Delmara's got to do athletics...
If I'm
you
going
might
to do
just give it to
athletics,
me.
then I've lost. But if I can do acrobatics, then I've got a chance. Unless I roll one, apparently. Oh, one more level and you'd be screwed.
Alistair, you take it off. Delmara tries to grab away from it, but Alistair, you have such a determination at that moment of I need this now. You take it and put it into the bag.
What the fuck? Alistair, give that back.
No, we
What is
definitely do
going
not
on?
need that at the moment. I think we need to put all cards on the table at the moment. I don't know any way I'm going to be able to explain this without... be able to ask questions without revealing anything.
You can understand my desire not to do so, however, due to the enthusiasm of one of your people at the very minimum, as he glances towards Grunt.
I burp. While shoving food in my face.
Shimmer, could you hand me my bow, please?
I give him the bow.
Okay, I'm going to step around this side of the table, and I'm just going to say...
Down which side of the table?
Just there
stood-
where he is now.
Just there, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you move.
I'm just going to say, take a seat, guys.
I mean, I've got to inside check him.
I'm
ahead.
not. Should I
Yeah,
be
same.
concerned? I'm going to be concerned right now as well.
Insight check from all three of you then.
Fuck.
Alistair,
Okay,
make
that's
a
not
Got a
charisma
fucking
check.
Oh,
+8 and I roll a goddamn 2.
Jesus, we've rolled a lot of ones tonight.
Is there any point, Das?
Well,
I've never had
Delmara,
such
so
terrible
yes.
rolls.
Trips, can you
just
please
a straight
take your
charisma roll?
dice?
Yeah, straight charisma roll, and I'll look at your two stats.
Yeah, I'll
Jesus,
succeed.
yeah, right, nothing.
In this moment, he is genuine, he is assertive, and you can tell definitely of his sort. Definitely of a motive currently, a man on a mission. And currently, you two are looking at the door, so let's fix that. I love doing that.
Real quick before we continue this. So, while you guys were gone doing your little, RP stuff, my dog decided to take a shit on my bed.
No!
I told you, it's great.
No!
Yeah.
The guy you missed out.
Posting in a
Her
half.
crying normally was because she didn't want to be down here. That's normally why she cries when she's down here.
Well, she emphasizes she definitely didn't want to be down here.
That's what I said.
Oh no.
I guess
Yeah,
you guys
so
had
now-
some shitty RP.
Please tell me that you've handled this matter, or
I've
you need to
already
go
dealt
into-
with the matter,
Okay,
yeah.
thank God.
Yeah, you
Because
shot
you
the
don't want
dog.
to have to delay this any longer.
Yeah,
Shit in my
basically-
room.
Oh no.
It was good
I know
timing,
field
actually,
trips, yeah, I
because we
was gonna
spent
go, yeah,
while you
whatever.
were whispering doing that.
Yeah.
That was handy, and thankfully they had the Twitch chat got to listen to us and not a dog taking the shit.
Oh god, I bet there was a
Well,
lot of
Twitch chat
there was a
missed
lot
out.
of bad language.
So
Yeah.
back
so-
in at this moment, the old man is sitting there. Looks
I'm
around
gonna be
all of you.
like, I'm like, and turn to Dell and be like, I don't trust what's going on.
I'm very
but
confused.
I'll
Very
follow,
upset.
I'll follow your lead.
The moment Alistair said the cards need to be on the table, the old man, who was shrivelly up forward, just leans back into a very comfortable, casual position, back straight. As you hear the door to your right open up, and there's the exact same old man with fresh tea on a pot and a few. Oh, I heard you had. Oh. And the old man who sat at the table says, "It's all right, Deckard. Bring your pieces, and then you may leave."
Give me one reason why I shouldn't walk out of this room right now.
Because you want answers, and this is the only way we're going to get answers.
Answers to what? I don't know the questions.
Neither do I really, but that's the answers that we're going to be getting. We've been played.
Okay, clearly magic's happening.
Stop.
How do I know something hasn't happened to you? There's magic happening here.
There is. Yes,
I
yes.
could activate, as the old man at the table says, I could activate an effect which will remove all magic from this area.
I'd advise
The
against
reason
doing
your
that.
amulets
No thanks.
were taken were because they can serve as a second set of ears for an individual I do not want to listen in on this matter, for a reason which will become obvious as the conversation continues.
I'm going to
This
draw
is
my
a
gun on this.
massive.
I don't like this.
This is a
Oh.
massive leap of faith, Delmara.
And why should I even consider trusting you?
You shouldn't.
I left
You should
my
trust
sword
me.
on the table.
You should definitely
And you-
trust me.
He nods to Alistair, but then looks past Alistair, and Delmara, you see a large katana sheathed on the table in the corner. As his form changes, the illusion dispelled, there now sits a very tall, muscular, pale hobgoblin in a suit of full armor underneath robes. His ears are damaged and threaded at the very tips. One eye is pure black, one eye is pure white. There, sitting before you, is the Emperor of the lands of Iran, Guanchi. If I wanted you dead, you would already be dead, and I certainly do not want that.
Indeed, I would.
And also the reason, sorry, just real quick, the reason the icon hasn't changed is that the commission isn't done yet.
That's fair. I just blink a few times and go, "That's true." And I just put out a hand and lower the gun of the guy standing next to me.
I'm just like, is this guy from up north you've been
What's-
telling me about?
What he's just said is
No,
true.
that's you, Trips.
What he's just said is true. If he wanted us dead, we would already be dead.
Yeah.
All
Grunt's
right,
going
so
to
we're
sorta
between a rock and a hard place.
Give him a
then.
look.
Yes.
That's like the only time I think. If correct me if I'm wrong, but the only time Grunt's seen him.
Actually seen him, yes. you're the
Oh
only-
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The only time Grunt's seen him is he was standing in the other side of the portal with
Yeah.
Crumble.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that.
I
But
remember
having
it
said that,
vividly.
she never saw him do anything directly, so she's sort of giving him a looks like, you're been with unpleasant company before, but at the same point I haven't seen you do anything mischievous, so I'm going to get back to my meat and start shoving food back in her face.
At the moment of Grunt looking at like a dog intent but turning back to food. Good. That was my main concern, that recklessness would take command of the situation. I don't want Galgoron to have a set of ears in this matter. That is why your amulets are within the bag. Once we are done, you may have them back. And the bag is left on your side of the table from him.
I'm just gonna holster my gun now. I'm like...
Well, actually, I'd be holding the bag.
No, he has a bag of holding.
It's a separate one. It's a separate bag of holding.
I see.
He brought his own.
Okay, never mind.
We're gonna need some information right now because I'm lost and I'm confused, and I've seen what look to be two very dangerous individuals today, and what the hell is going on?
Calfrey
My point exactly.
Calfrey Ravenstone. Young entrepreneuring gunslinger and one of the best adepts in his field of both wit, investigation, and most basic needs of the city. Man who could definitely make his living here. It is a pleasure to finally meet you. Dalmara, Grunt, Buckley Calabari, Emma, and Artwood. I am Guanchi.
Well, it seems you've done your homework.
Anyone worth their salt does, as you all clearly have as well.
I'm just going to lean up against the wall.
The door is open, by the way, and there is no allusion to magic. The option to leave is there. Allow me before anything else is said, done, or asked. When you finish hearing what I have to say, I have predicted 3 outcomes. That does not mean they are the only ones, but they are the ones I have predicted. Either you will hear me out, take the information, and leave, which is perfectly fine. I will not stop you. 2, you do more than just listen, and you are willing to assist me in matters. Or 3, one which I regret to even consider, but one must always be prepared for these matters. You turn to attempt to kill me. I am aware of the threat that you present, and I hoped the indication of my blade being left aside shows what my intent is in this matter. And while you could definitely attempt it, you among you will definitely suffer casualty as well. Only one person will benefit, and there's no one sat in this room. Regardless, I will respect any of your decisions you make today. So, Alistair was asking questions of me. Information he wished to know. I will rehash what information I may. To begin,
I'll fill them in at a later point.
No. Let's hear the whole story.
Alright, the short and long of it is, because I want to get to some new questions, Galgoron's not the person that we thought he was. He is one of 5 children of Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. He has grown arrogant with his power. He laid waste to the northern lands, to the previous generations of Guanchi's empire, and he has been manipulating us and been able to see through our amulets to see where we have been going and who we have been interacting with.
Now hold on a minute. Who is Galgoron?
The gold dragon that we've been serving in Duskhaven. The effective leader of the city.
Are you
the
telling me?
mastermind and manipulator.
You telling me that your worst enemy on this continent has decided to come forward, tell you disarmed and disillusioned, to track you down, put you into a room, tell you that he's considered many options, and then proceeded to inform you that the person you work for and are under the disguise of in the city is actually evil?
Apparently so.
Well, my, that's a bit of a headache.
Certainly a bit of a stretch.
So the long and short of it is, Guanxi used to be part of the adventuring party that came before us. They went through all the same revolutions that we had. They inherited the guild hall. They were the heroes of Duskhaven. They were Galgarond's right-hand men.
Mm-hmm.
Galgarond was then discovered to have been lying to the party about his true intentions. He had lied about everything that he'd done to Guanxi's previous ancestors. And when it had been discovered, he has obviously gone renegade from him, and the party has split. All we are doing is we are going through the same revolutions once again. We are the next heroes, we're the next generation, and we're looking to tidy up the old problems.
And let me guess, some of those old problems include Ramsey and the leaders of Rodhaven?
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
This used to be the city of Fairbreeze. Galgarond ensured that by all accounts it is referred to as Rodhaven to all outsiders, so even the people of the city began taking the name, because they would not pay him a tithe several hundred years ago.
So this original party,
Merok.
exactly,
Eansol.
where do they stand? They're still on his side?
Of course
They
are.
don't know what's happened. Remember when we captured the Silver Dragon?
Yeah.
And there was the talk of something that had happened, some betrayal that had happened, and obviously we sided with Eansol and Galgarond saying that it must be nonsense. I believe there's more to this event than meets the eye.
Were you ever told the true name of the party?
No, we found
No.
a painting in the guild hall.
We were the Hellwalkers. Named so because Galgarond sent us many times there. On the last venture, he had sent us to retrieve an object, but we could only do so after killing a devil. A lesser entity in the grand scheme of the Hells, but still a dangerous feat. We kill, and we fail to flee in time. We realize we have no alternative but to run. Leocro loses an eye and an arm to a Goristo, and we keep running. We manage to pull ourselves to a portal at the very precipice of a mighty cliff. Galgarond is waiting to the other side, waiting for the object. We tell him we could not retrieve it, but we'll of course attempt another day. He says this is unacceptable. The challenge was to claim the object and kill the fiend. The bard of our party steps forward, begs Galgarond just to let us through, that we need a break. Galgarond looks not to him but to the rest of us and says find the object, and flicks the bard off the cliff. And that bard fell to the depths of the Hells and died. The portal was then closed, and fiends of all types assaulted us. A fiend that we had previously encountered, he had a bit of a manipulation of minds, got his hands on Eansol, who was distraught at this time. And I'm pretty sure the day's encounters that we had faced were all but drained from Eansol's entire memory. This was, of course, while Merok and Leoncrow limped behind us all. They were far away from us, but still coming. It was me, Eansol, Merok's wife, and the bard. We were the only three who saw. The wife, every day I regret that day. She had no choice but to side with her beloved. She knew she would not be able to contest fully the dangers of Galgarond, but hoped to at a later date expose him. I, of course, was not going to wait on this matter. We struggle, and it is only by Braitha's aid, where she created a portal, did we manage to escape that day. Only her. Galgarond was furious with her. And there's something that you may know of me, but not quite its extent. As he blinks towards you all, I can tell when anyone lies to me. I can tell the truth of someone's capabilities. I can tell what you're capable of, and when you lie, but also when you intend to speak the truth. I confronted Galgarond on this matter. I then confronted him about my line, for there was the rumors that 5 generations ago in my line, a golden dragon slaughtered the entire military force of the Iranlands. And it was only then where monsters from the depths rose up and enslaved my people. I am the last line of those who ruled previously, and I fled from those lands in my youth, and encountered in a tavern a young sellsword, a high elf sorcerer, a clerical elf, a young charismatic bard, and a fighter paladin of 2 blades. And we began working together like any adventuring group would. When I confronted Galgarond, I knew the truth of him. I knew what his intentions were. Malicious at best. I knew full well he did not care for us, not even his own son, and would sooner see us die and fail than give us a chance to try again. You have been fortunate. You've never failed him. Yet. And bear no mistake, you are all very capable and competent. I admire you. But you will fail him eventually. Not through your ability, but he will propose a challenge to you too great. So, that is the gist of it, shall we say. I have no doubts in my mind, Dalmara, you still do not trust me. So, if you have any questions, above all others, please.
Do you have any sort of evidence that you can use to back up these claims? All sounds very convenient. Memory loss.
Yep.
Just, you know,
Okay.
way too
Daddy's
convenient.
I don't believe for 1 second that this seems too descriptive to be false. He's pulling.
You can definitely
People-
make insight checks.
I mean, I'll try, but I feel like unless I roll a natural 20, it's not happening.
That is a natural 1. He is not lying. He believes wholeheartedly every word he says. There is conviction, regret, and anger in his voice whenever he refers to Galgarond, when he refers to the events of the past, in that order, in those motions.
He's not got any evidence, but the way he speaks, I believe him.
It's almost as if the dragon made great intent to wipe me off the face of this land. When I confronted him, he attempted to kill me. He believed he succeeded. A duplicate was necessary at the time. A fake body for him to see. And I fled. And I kept fleeing. All the way back north. And for the last 30 years, I have been building my lands back up. I have been building my people back up. I freed us from slavery. I did everything I could to save my people. I even came to make trade. And I did. And the dragon allowed it. But he would only allow me to send goblins and bugbears. My unreliable generational and species cousins, as you imagine.
Now that's all well and good, but let's get down to the bare bones of this. What do you want from us?
Everything that has happened to you previously, to this party. Galfrey, bear in mind you are a new addition. Unexpected, but welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You have all followed our steps. Everything up to the battle for Duskhaven. You followed the steps of. That was the first change. One where I ensured the summoning of a creature that loathed Galgarond more than I, an old rival of his. The two fought, and Galgarond has been weakened since. But he's playing it up a lot more than you believe. He's allowing the injuries to look far more severe. He's letting it slowly heal. But make no mistake, that dragon is still capable. Never laugh at a still breathing dragon.
Can I perform a history check on, like, basically on his race and everything from what I would remember from the north?
Sure. Make a history check. Because you were from that place, I'll lower the DC, but it's a straight roll.
Great.
You're aware, while your monastery was kept safe, and actually, funnily enough, the two masters of your monastery were, I'm forgetting the variant name, but they were essentially of the Githyanki race, the Gith.
Right.
They were the more psionic of the individuals, and they served as guardians to the temple, and that is why the previous masters of all the Iranans were unable of actually taking the monastery. Mind flayers. Very few of them left, but for 5 generations they dominated all goblinoids that ruled over those lands, those sheltered husks. You are aware in your histories that great battles occurred, and the history books write it as if the Mind Flayers were the cause of the battle. So, while there was definitely destruction in the lands, you do not read any details of it being Galgarond's effect, but instead of the Mind Flayers that attacked. You are aware, however, that 30 years ago, Guan Shi did return, rallied nearly all the peoples that he could, and drove back to the very depths of the earth those that threatened his lands and people, and has since been uniting all monstrous folk from the north. Trolls, all these kind of monsters.
Right. Okay.
Looks towards all of you. This is a true leap of faith, both on your parts and mine. But
Who's your...
if I may, above all else, I do not want you to have to follow in the same footsteps as I did. I do not want you to have to suffer the same fates. I want to change a cycle that has been going and going and going for generations without end. I will ask you, have any of you ever gone into the basement of your guild hall?
I wasn't aware it had a
Had a
basement.
basement.
It was a 2-story building, ground and first.
The fireplace. Clear it out. You will see a heavy stone slab. If you were to lift it up and take it out, you will see a set of stairs. However, beyond high guard, while chained, there is one down there who could answer questions further, if you want a true belief of this matter. He was one of the very first people. Some 400 maybe, or even more, years ago. My apologies. 300 years ago was when Duskhaven was taken by Galgarond. He was one of the very first adventurers that were ever recruited.
You're gonna expect me to believe that these guys, Guildhall holds a 300-year-old adventurer in its basement that they didn't even know about?
There's a person down there?
And they're obviously not still alive.
They're still alive, if you could call it that. And they are indeed an adventurer in person, if you could still call them that. They defied Galgarond. However, death would have been too good for them. Have you ever seen his jail within the tower? Has he ever shown you it?
No.
We've vaguely visited the prison that's in Duskhaven, but wasn't aware there was one in his tower.
It's his personal menagerie of monsters. Things he has beaten and captured over the years. There are demons and great beasts there. Devils and worse. He'll test you on them in the next month. He will open up the gates, or a cell, and let you fight one. You will not expect it, except for my warnings. You may even be told that one of them has broken free, and may be attempting to free the others. If he does, if this is his demands and requests, you will know what to expect. This will be a single individual of a terrifying power. It'll be his attempts to see how you can handle a single opponent. Do you ever wonder why the swamps outside of his city, with all his grandeur of power, are still able to be so infested with monsters? He leaves it as a massive training ground. For you, for me, for any he deems worthy.
I turn to Dell at the moment and I just go, he right about Duskhaven? Is this all true?
I mean, it's true that the swamp is in a state.
Why would he ever allow the Yuan-Ti to keep returning? How do they manage to take slaves and prisoners under the dutiful gaze of a dragon of such capabilities? Who claims to be so powerful and can see so much in all? And yet, when the death blow needs to be struck, I am guessing at this point, by the look on your faces, you've encountered them. Allow me to guess, based on my own experiences. The city was empty. There were no others there, but you could hear the drum beats from a temple. And so you stepped in to a massive caved-in area. And he brought a rod with him when he came later on, after you had fought off some Yuan-Ti yourselves. He came in, glorified and in grandeur, and promised to show you how to defeat a great evil. And so you went down. You fought a terrifying set of Yuan-Ti, as he held back a great and dark old evil that was trying to destroy all of you. He then shattered the staff upon his knee and destroyed the beast after you had killed everything else, using an orb in his hand. Stop me when I get this wrong. And when he was done, he stood atop the remnants of it in the glorified form of his dragon. You were also blessed to have him on your side that day, weren't you? So fortunate to have the golden savior.
Is this all true?
down to the fine details up until Buckley snuffing it.
We had 2 perish during that fight, but he swooped down and resurrected them both, like a golden angel.
Did that happen to you, Buckley? Have you been brought back from the dead?
More or less.
Don't have to brag about it, but...
in not so many words.
So what I'm saying, Del, is I'm not saying that you need to trust everything that goes on here, but we've been given a lead as to there's more going on at the moment, and our enemy isn't who we may think it is. I don't know where we stand at the moment.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend?
The enemy of our enemy is the contact.
Grunt turns around,
And looks
partially
at the wall.
because she's
food's
run out of
out.
breakfast meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably
She's run out of food.
It's a
Yeah.
good move on
You've
his
gotten,
part,
you've gotten
honestly.
every plate on the table and ate it. You just
Pass
like,
the hummus, I'm gonna go ham on this table.
Yes.
Don't ham on
Break
this
the
ham.
table off. A piece off the table.
there may be some teeth marks at the table, I won't lie. But she turns to him and she signs to him. How does the arena come into this? How do the dragon that was slain and me being freed come into all this?
He begins speaking, but also signing. The arena was not my intention. I was not aware of it up until recently. There are powerful demons at work there, and me and Braither were both going to ensure their destruction. They are a threat to both you and I, and the world of Del and I. The arena itself, we have discerned, is a massive altar, and any lives taken upon it fuel a ritual of summoning, allowing the veil between plane and plane, this one and theirs, to be easily accessed. By the way, he's a damn good sign language writer. That's fucking on point. I am
Grunt,
aware of the dangers of it.
suddenly just sort of pushes away the chair in such a fashion that it will just shatter on a wall, and she is like right up in his face, but not with anger, but with like a panic. And she says, "Hell's soul, what happened?"
Oh shit.
He closes he closes his eyes. I'm very sorry. If she died in that arena, her soul has been used for fuel. There's nothing of it left.
Grunt just starts grabbing at her hair and pulling chunks out of it, and at this point she'll rage and basically just burst through the nearest wall and just start trashing shit.
Okay, you go
No
back
one in
into the
particular,
previous
just-
room. You go into the previous room, and
Yep.
Grunt has a mental breakdown. You slam everything. You scream out violently, fervently, in a panicked rage. You are loud and angry in this moment.
Yep.
And there is a
And it will be
genuine
happening in a
look.
different room so you can continue your conversation.
There is a genuine look of regret and sorrow on Guanchi's face. I will finish answering her question, and if you want later, you could elaborate it back to her. We were intent on destroying that altar, but we did not want to contest them until we could figure out how to destroy it, and do so as our first step. Otherwise, they may grow desperate and react with more powerful foes. Braither was researching that. Crumblebottom was meant to be assisting in that. Quite clearly, this is his step. Which is why I was so unfortunately aggravated when I realized Braither was captured, that I myself made an appearance.
And
I
so we
apologize,
come
Delmara.
to the point that I am most particularly interested in. So go on, say your piece and explain yourself what's happening there, and I hope you've got a very good explanation.
When you originally came to Duskhaven, I had contacts in the city, and a deal was bargained for. When the battle for Duskhaven would occur, Merrick would not be able to interfere in the matter. However, it was my dutiful express permission and request he be let live. Be disabled, captured, whatever it would take, but not killed. I did not want Merrick Firesoul dead. And there is venom in his voice when he says this, of anger that this was what he wanted to not happen. I never wanted him to die or get hurt. I wanted him removed from the equation, which I knew Crumblebottom, and you know full well he is capable of doing so.
Oh, yes.
But he decided not to, and decided to instead flex his muscles, and killed Firesoul. He had to use a clone to return. A spell I'm more than capable of aware of the fact that he is indeed capable of using, and he returned. So when Crumblebottom stepped through that portal, I killed the son of a bitch, and I brought him back. I killed him again, and again, and again. And then I burnt his face in half, to emphasize my point. I made the request he not kill Merrick Firesoul. He broke the first tenure of my contract with him, and so I ensured that he would be, at the minimum, willing to assist me, which he never lied on, and he was willing to assist. But the moment he left my care, I had sent 2 of my sons with him. And then I decided I could not trust him, and I sent the other 5. And they all went down south to Distoon, keeping an eye on him, watching him. But clearly he managed to sneak by more than what we intended. Delmara, I do not like him. I do not trust him. But you and I both know he is a capable and dangerous individual. I did not need someone who could talk the way out, but I needed someone who could handle a matter. If I had any trustworthy alternative, I would have taken it. But I had never met the man prior to that portal in your town, in your village, in your home. When I knew him, and I knew what he was capable of, I wished to emphasize my point as thoroughly as I could.
So what makes you any better than him?
Because at the end of it, I have no intention of hurting any of you. I just want to stop a cycle. He wants to rise in power. Do you think I would take Duskhaven? No. There's a reason I wanted Merrick left alone and alive. I knew he'd be capable enough to handle the city. I knew Aeon Sol would be more than capable of handling New Growth. I have no intentions of hurting them. The threats posed to that city I knew you and them could manage. And did you not? Did you not?
So the main enemy at the moment for me is Crumble. He's the common denominator in every single plan, and he's manipulating. He has his own agenda that he's trying to achieve, and he needs to be stopped. But I think before we continue with anything else regarding Galgarond, Quan Chi, the war between the orcs and the humans, which probably has some really weird tangent involved in this, I think more investigation needs to be done, because at the moment we are being moved around like pawns on a checkerboard.
And I want to take you off the table.
Pawns aren't on checker.
Precisely, Buckley.
Right.
Thank you for spelling out the metaphor.
Yep.
I feel like we're going around a Ludo board with chess pieces. Chess pieces don't go on a Ludo board, Alistair.
Yeah.
That's a game they teach children. You dum-dum.
Fuck you.
Sick of these goddamn snakes on these motherfucking ladders.
Please tell me you're doing this in character. Please tell me you're doing this in character.
No, Alistair,
Serious moment.
you've become a bit of a dick.
What do you mean become?
What do you mean a bit?
To me. Fuck all you. Yeah, but to me, he's been a bit of a dick here.
Uh,
Now this causes an impasse of what we're doing right now. We've got current plans in action
To cause issue
That-
in this city.
that cause issue in this city, and if we don't do what's expected of us, then that's going to cause bigger problems.
What I asked does not interfere with what you intended to do. Quite the controversy. Or controversial, excuse me. Contrary. In a tense moment, I apologize. You intend to stop slave trade to Dissoon. This aids me. One less source to go there to fuel that engine of summoning. Buckley, a matter you will be quite useful for. Have you any holy water?
I do.
Please present
Now.
it.
Shut up, Shimmer. I hand him a vial.
He reaches into the bag and pulls out a demon's heart and pours blood from it onto the ground, and you can just see it beginning to do the rotting infestation you're so familiar with. Observe. He takes the vial, uncorks it in his mouth and spits it, and then pours the holy water into the heart and holds it up and says words in Celestial. And you watch as the heart changes from this sickly black color to this almost like clear white, and as it does, it then continues to drip, and he just pours it and just tightens and squeezes the heart and pours it over where the corruption was, and the corruption cleanses. And then he just goes onto the heart, just breathes to it, and it just disintegrates away. An important matter that is very useful.
See, we have some solution. You're gonna need a lot of hearts, though.
Yeah, in order to clear Lord knows how far, several miles of corruption.
We'll deal with that bridge when we come to it.
When he dropped one drop of blood of purified blood onto the ground, it cleared all the corruption connected to it.
Right, okay.
It has a wider effect than maybe anticipated. And then he just wipes his hands.
Fair enough. Actions speak louder than words, I suppose.
So basically, if we find the biggest demon heart that we can in that city, put some holy water through it, drop, it could probably clear the entirety of the corruption.
As you're killing the beast, I recommend carving out the heart. If the heart is separate when the beast dies, or as the beast dies, it won't disintegrate away with it.
Right.
Right.
So
that easy.
I have a perfect weapon. I have a perfect thing for that.
Say, you do have a perfect tool for the matter. Points towards Buckley, or the hunter who knows how to claim a trophy. Points towards
That too.
Alistair. So, a matter that we all can agree on.
Also, real quick, how many days has it been since I last used my divine intervention?
Like money is burning a hole in his pocket.
Let's see.
'Cause
one day there, back 3. I'd say give it 2 more nights and you'll get divine intervention back.
Okay.
One matter that we can all agree on. Crumble Bottom is indeed a threat and an issue. As a token of good favor, if I could enable you to encounter him in a matter that does not suit him, at his disadvantage, maybe in a city of fresh new allies that are starting to like you, should you emphasize a point of slave trade is a no-go, disposing of 2 dangerous families that may or may not already have certain connections to that fellow, Suddenly, Alexandros's little ventures down here, which he no doubt intends to do rather soon, won't end up well for him. He will know to expect you, Delmara, but the rest he will not see coming. More in particular, he has no idea who Calfrey is, and a bit of an illusionary disguise for the rest of you should set up an ample trap. I would
Very
assist personally.
convenient.
I would assist personally in the matter if it would emphasize the point, but I doubt you trust me to be anywhere near the vicinity.
Yeah, you think?
I'd say first let's do our own investigation and see if we can come to our own decision.
That is all I wanted you to do. All I'm doing here today is educating you, enlightening you on a situation you were not previously aware. After that, I cannot make your minds up for you. This is your choice. All of you.
I think it's quite clear what we gotta do. We gotta play business as usual and then come to this at a later date and have a long, hard talk about what steps we're gonna take from this. I think we should leave our new friend here and get on with business. And
There's 2 more questions that I've got.
By all means.
I was aware in the alley that I wasn't able to beguile you like I can other people, even a shark. Who's your current patron?
Currently, and he just smirks, the guise of a warlock has served me very well, but I am no warlock.
Interesting. And I'm aware of the sword that was carried by Yanero. What does your sword do?
My blade is quite similar to his. However, I need to speak simply a few words to it, and the blade's capacity for destruction is enhanced. I do not like using it. But the blade is dangerous for the point of, after every strike I learn more of my opponent, and find it easier to cut through their armor.
Interesting.
Aside from the very obvious.
Tell me your secrets.
Goddamn analytical brain.
You better just grab my head and say, "Tell me your secrets," because you won't find
Yeah.
it in that book.
you're looking in
it's
the
right.
wrong book because it's a homebrew item, by the way. Spook
Blue,
so
show me your Tumblr account.
What? Don't act and pretend you have your own Tumblr account.
Yeah.
Only for porn.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've seen it.
We're both terrible. Back to D&D.
My blade has a very capable tenacity of dispatching opponents, but also strengthens my mind from influence. Yanero, my first son, has clearly displayed the capacity of these sort of blades for destruction, a matter which I greatly regret, and a confusion on my part. I know not why he is so adamant to join the dragon, why he betrayed me and our people.
Another person who needs questioning. What's your blade called, though? I know his is Conquest.
Peace.
A
tool of war that can definitely bring it.
Okay. I think we've learnt enough for the time being.
There's certainly
Unless
probably,
you have any other questions.
I don't think there's anything more that can be said currently. We have to make our own decision, which we probably won't be able to until we go back. We have to continue what we're doing here, as though nothing has happened.
I will promise you, I know at the very least you will be thrown into his jail to contest an opponent. That'll be one of your latest trials. After that, he may very well send you to a plane, if not the Hells, a different one, to retrieve something and kill someone. It'll be those two requests, and one will be placed before the other. You may not be able to, say, claim the object before killing the person, or vice versa.
What do we do with these dragon orbs?
If
Have you any one of them without his knowledge? He can tell if you lie, by the way, but he cannot tell in what context you lie, just by looking at you.
I'm trying to think. We have two. He knows we have one. He doesn't know, or he shouldn't know we have the other one. Because we haven't... Did we report back with that? We didn't, did we?
No.
Which one? I'm getting it. The one that... The first one.
The first one he knows we've got. The second one that Crumble gave us, he doesn't know we've got that, does he?
I, of course, know exactly
he technically
what about.
Doesn't know that we got it.
Except for those amulets that you have that would have told him exactly what he wanted to know.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
if the amulet...
If he has been listening, then he'd know we have it.
But technically,
he would also
he shouldn't
know
know about it.
Correct. If he's
Yeah.
not lying to you, if he clearly has not been spying on you, then surely he would have no idea about this dragon orb.
Did we tell any of the others? Did we tell Scylla?
We didn't tell Scylla, we did tell Mara.
Scylla is
Because
another
Mara-
soul who has been deceived, manipulated, and influenced in this matter.
Because Marek's the one that set up protections on that mountain. If you'll remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For anti-scrying and all that.
I'm going to step forward if I can to the table.
You may.
And if what you say is true, and if everyone is okay with this, I'm going to reach forward towards the bag of holding and just reach in and do what I know to take out Dell's amulet.
Mm-hmm.
I take out one of the amulets and I lay it on the table and I just go.
As you reach in for the bag, it is the old man at the table again.
Yeah, I reach in and I stop there for a second and I concentrate and I cast Identify on it.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh.
He's a bird.
Okay. What?
We have a party member who can test Identify?
Holy shit.
What is this heresy?
Trip Labs.
Mm-hmm.
It does take a minute to cast Identify, even if it's not. Oh no, yes, it is. Casting
It's a minute.
Hold,
1
so
minute.
you take it out and hold it.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. So whilst this is happening, you focus on it, and you are aware that it is indeed the orb of it is the amulet of dragon eyes. While it has other magical properties that seem to have either been nullified or not yet unlocked or enabled, it does allow whoever has crafted it to listen through or see through them. And it is the design of a dragon, like the silhouette, or like say from the back if you're looking down at one, of a dragon in mid-flight, but it is one solid piece of a golden amulet, and you can tell this amulet must be worth at least a few hundred gold at minimum, but it is literally a solid dragon mold on top of it.
Right, okay, I take this knowledge and I go. And I put it back into the bag of holding.
And once it's back in, old man disappears.
So what do we do what do we do about those? Are we supposed to just wear them normally?
I go and I relay this information to the party and I go, that's definitely got some sort of tracking mechanism on it. I am I'm sure it's been listening for a while, so I can confirm he's correct.
Well, it can't listen. It's in the bag of holding. It is in a separate plane, which is a solar.
Yeah. I was just saying, all is out. Is what I was saying.
Shimmer, I think your friend Grunt may need some counseling. Could you please go out to her? Just take care of her for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you step out the room?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you step out of the room, you go over to Grunt, and you, she's inconsolable, but you're still outside the room trying to help her. Quan Chi waves. Quan Chi changes back to the old man, reaches in and takes out both amulets and leaves them on the table, then waves his hand, and all the magic in the room fades away. Your amulet blew, Damar, you feel a lot less fortified or constitutional.
Oh, I feel like I feel like I just aged.
Buckley, you lose so much of your great strength is reduced from it. You can't hear from Deldir, Alistair, but the amulets are there. Now I would recommend you place those on, and after having your lovely old discussion with a paranoid kook inside his room and had some tea, he gets up, goes over towards the table, and takes the katana and places it back up on his waist on his belt. We are at the point at which I spoke to earlier. Your three choices. I take it your intentions are to carry on as usual.
Out of character, banishment.
Anti-magic zone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That would have been good just to be like, now hold that thought.
Okay, everyone.
Now you have three choices. Sorry, what? What about three choices?
Deadeye sharpshooter.
Deadeye sharpshooter misfire.
There's stuff going on.
I rolled a 3.
After that part.
You get to Grunt afterwards. He looks to all of you. I take it you will be using this information for yourselves, trusting that you cannot, of course, trust me, but maybe perhaps you cannot trust him, and you will go educated in this matter.
It's a choice of nothing, basically. Yes. I suppose, yes, we'll continue the way we are currently.
Be careful about discussing it, however.
Yeah.
As, of course, you imagine, it's not exactly the easiest affair to discuss it openly. However, when you next speak to him, you may say these amulets are more of a hindrance due to the fact that you found perhaps Alistair could not hide his under his clothes all that well, and it was noticed. And
it's
fight him.
We can. Months ago, when he gave them to us, he told us that we could use them to help barter in Duskhaven. We can simply use them for that.
And that alone.
I wonder where Nasdo's is.
Nasdo sold his.
He sold He sold his very early on.
That's what I mean. Who the hell did he sell that to?
He sold it to a shopkeeper in the city. He just randomly sold it in the bazaar. It's lost now to the ether.
Fun.
Yeah, well,
Right.
the wording was we could give them to any shop owner, and they would know that it was his mark in the city.
And be used for trade or for discount.
Yeah.
So then, thank you. I did not expect this to go as well as it has.
Yeah, what do we do here? Do we wait and you go, or...?
The old man is still here having his tea. The door is that way. Oh.
I'm not going to turn my back to him, and I'm just going to motion to the guys.
If I'm correct, you are going to be handling the... And he does quotation marks in the air. Dog of Rothaven. Yes, definitely a dog of Rothaven. As he reaches under the table, takes out a wooden stake and hands it to Alistair. The dog who definitely never shows up in the middle of the day. That dog.
A vampire? Werewolf? Oh my days.
We're dealing with a vampire, or what the fuck is this town?
It's almost as if this was the town that Galgrond originally tried to take as his own domain. A bunch of weird folk.
Also, actually, I don't know if you happen to know about this. Do you happen to know about why the sea would create a creature to come in and kill people?
Probably pissed off the sea in some form.
Cool.
It's not the first time a form of nature has created an avatar of revenge,
Right.
if that is the matter.
I mean,
The air has done so when it has been polluted. The land has done so when it has been defiled or burnt. It only makes sense the sea would do so as well.
right. Okay. Because I did a Legend More thing earlier on it.
A useful spell. I advise you keep on to that one.
Yeah, I'll probably be doing a couple of those later after I sleep. So, yeah.
As a recommendation, however, if a creature of the sea poses a threat to you and it is one of these kind of machinations, if you know it has an intention to kill someone and you do not wish to contest with it, simply get out of its way. But
Right.
if you do wish to contest it, I find that the abilities of, say, thunder or force are more direct approaches than anything else to those kind of elements. They seem to be more resistant to the more generic forms. Good luck.
Yeah, it sounds like we need it.
We all need it in these dark days.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave, but just like not take my eyes off him and back out of the room.
As you all
cautiously leave.
As you all begin walking away, he does turn away from you, but then turn back. A question. I will refer to you not as the defenders or champions of Duskhaven and Bowl. What would I refer to you otherwise?
It was old man.
You say you want us to break the cycle. Perhaps.
Bring light to the dark of the situation, perhaps.
The sun cows. No.
You're not
Fuck
there.
no.
You're not
God
there.
damn it, no.
God
No.
damn
Runt wouldn't recommend that at all.
No. We're gonna
Maybe something smooth, something cool, like
We're gonna-
Dawnbreakers.
We don't want to break the dawn. We want to bring a dawn.
Dawnbringers? I don't know, I'm just spitballing.
Alistair Dartwood and Co.
No.
Venture Co.
Definitely not.
Dawnbringers.
Dawnbringers. It's got a ring to it.
Bring the dawn to the dark, then, heroes.
Sure.
Well, we're trying to break the cycle, so we could be called like Broken Dishwasher.
What's a dishwasher?
Shimmering
Middle-
heroes.
My lands. Not yet.
Middle-aged women that
Calgon? Maybe?
Calgon,
Ursel?
Purcell, Purcell Bowl,
Bucks.
2 in 1.
That's washing up liquid.
The last 5 minutes have not been canon, as you've all been plumbing over your name and deciding on it.
Yes.
Which have been. Alistair stands on a chair with one leg and says, "We are the Dawnbringers." And light shines through there's no window. And the light shines on the walls outside this
It
room.
There is
just
windows
like
right there.
hold up. I just like hold up a gold piece and cast light on it and be there like, that's okay.
Now,
Let's go.
We'll go.
bring me that horizon.
We'll go with that.
Good luck then, Dawnbringers. May the gods favor you.
Hey, the name came out canonically.
It's been 40 years.
From the person who's meant to be your villain.
We didn't need a name. We didn't need to be remembered.
Go on, though.
Those fucks.
It's just
Are
better to
you
be
there?
remembered. Yeah, it's just better to be remembered as you there or stop them.
You lot.
Oh, criminal scum.
Oh, yeah.
You have violated the law.
The
You've
child
all stepped
beaters.
out.
No.
in- You've all stepped out into an utterly destroyed room where Shimmer and Grunt are currently. Grunt.
Would probably be dealing with Shimmer for a bit before they come in, but by the time Shimmer comes in, there is nothing in the room that is in one piece anymore, and she has clearly been taking the hook onto herself, and there is more blood coming out of her than you have ever seen coming out of something breathing. Particularly, one of her eyes looks like she's going to lose it if something doesn't change that fact quickly. And she's in a right state.
I would have gone over, hugged her, and then basically forced the potion down her throat.
I'm gonna
You
walk
do do
over.
that. She is on her knees, just wailing.
I shall try and grab her attention and just be like, calm down, Grunt. You know how messed up some of these magic users are. I'm sure we can find some sort of way to reverse what's been done. We just need to get to the end first and deal with the problems one by one.
She just looks at you, and she is pissed off. She doesn't want to hear a bar of it. She just spits and cries and she is a mess.
I also need to update the bag of holding that we've got with all my stuff just for later purposes. Because at the moment I think it's got some old stuff in there, but I'll do that off cam.
I'm gonna walk across the grunt and pop a hand on his shoulder and just a gentle cure wounds.
Roll 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier.
And sort of like
There you go.
try and calm down and like sort of fix the eye up a little bit and go, you gotta save that rage, darling. You know that you're not the target that you should be, aiming this against. This is not for yourself. This is for your enemies, and we now know possibly another true enemy. And come on, let's go.
Make a persuasion check. I'm gonna make it a straight.
Let's see. Oh, you're kidding
Oh my
me.
god!
Well, that's quite fitting.
That's possibly the 6th one that's been rolled tonight.
Yeah, I've had 3 of them.
I like the motion for Trips not being able to roll anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody else needs to roll for him.
Oh dear.
Grunt eats you.
I will willingly take damage. I will not resist if it is for the story. Make an attack if you want.
She just shoves you out of the way onto the floor. She doesn't know you. She doesn't care. She's just, get the fuck out of my way. And she just looks at Dell and just says, knife.
No.
Give me
No.
knife.
No. This isn't the answer, Grunt.
We need to save this for when we go to Distown. They're the ones who need to pay.
Then you do it. And she walks up to you, and then she turns around and kneels down and holds up her hair high.
Her hair.
Oh, okay. I'll take out the blade.
I'm no good at hairdressing.
Like Delmara's any better.
Oh.
I have a ponytail.
Well, she's looking to lob off all her hair.
Yeah,
so
I know,
don't
I know.
how
I
it's
slice off her hair for her.
Should have asked Shimmer.
Shimmer can make it look neat.
You cut a large portion of her ponytail, which goes all the way down her back. You cut all of that hair off. He's now essentially more or less, because you managed to grab a lot of it back. It's more or less closer to like more of a mop head or a bit closer to a buzz cut than Grunt's probably been in a very long time.
Oh my god, that's so sad. Calfrey, play Linkin Park.
I've become so bad. I can see you.
Stop ruining the moment!
The
I'm gonna make a performance check.
All the hair,
Stop ruining
Well,
the
you gotta roll a
moment!
one.
all the hair
I-
falls to the ground.
I'm not sure how much you know about her culture or whatnot, but one generally doesn't cut one's hair off unless they lose.
You just admitted that Grunt lost. How do you feel, Del?
I don't know that information.
None of you know
Anyway,
about
with
her
a haircut,
culture.
she just sort of stands up and she's sullen and angry, but she's willing to move.
Pick myself up and dust it off and go.
Whilst none of you understand the true importance or significance of it, you get the idea of cutting off of the hair has definitely got some sort of symbolism with loss. Not loss as a failure, but loss of something. Or changing of ways.
Must be the hairstyle that Hell had.
Maybe.
Do you actually say that?
Very quietly to Del.
Okay. He hasn't heard.
I presume
Or-
Grunt doesn't
or-
hear this because I like Alistair living.
Or maybe it's like, you know, a certain superhero movie recently where the long, flowing hair now cut short.
Yeah, we
I
all
haven't
know
seen
Avatar
Batman
last.
versus
We
Superman.
all know Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's just
By the way, hi Del dear.
Oh
Glad to have
yeah,
you back online.
he's back.
That was weird. What did I miss?
So what
You
did
missed
I
me having some
miss?
peace and quiet.
It was great.
Who's Del Deer? Wait, I'm missing something here.
That's literally his bow.
He's talking to his
Oh
bow.
shit. Okay.
If he's Talion, that's his Celebrimbor. Boar.
I'll nod and agree with that. So I definitely get like.
It's fine.
Shadow of War.
It's fine. It's fine. Guess we should end there.
That's the end. I guess we should end there.
Guess we should end there. I mean,
You all move out. Begin
Now
making
this
your
is
way
our new
back
base of
towards-
operation. We're gonna live here now.
Begin making your way back to Lander,
yeah.
as you guys previously said was your intention.
Oh yeah, that dude.
Grunt, sullen, and sorrowful. And as you all move out with this new information, the sorrow in hearts of some, we will end the session there.
Remember to shop at Game Tea.
That was a lot to take in. We'll see you next time, guys.
Goodbye.
Good night.
What is this class?